Hey guys, and welcome to the ANZ Pro League. We're here for a second season, which is awesome. The first season was heaps killer. I had so much fun doing that, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And clearly, you've thrown some support behind this because we're back here again for our first week of matches. We're going to have 6 weeks of games here. 5 weeks are going to be the round robin playthrough where every team will play every team. There's 5 teams in total once again, and then the 6th week will be the finals. So for tonight, it's just going to be me for the moment, but hopefully later on we'll be joined by Moonglade. Let us know in the chat if there are any issues as always, but we'll be looking to hop into games pretty soon here. So let's actually have a look at the matchups that we've got tonight. So there's our week 1 schedule there. SYF versus Downfall kicking things off here. SYF, the champions from last season. Downfall putting up an incredible fight when, to be honest, we really didn't expect them to do quite as well with a Protoss stack team and being like the new kids on the block, but very impressive performance from them. So I'm really hoping to see them develop further in this team league. And then we've got Rise versus Legacy coming up after that. Now, Legacy was the other team that made it to the grand finals in the last season, put up a fantastic fight, and really excelled in their preparation for each of these matches. Rise, new kids on the block this time. You'll remember we had 1F Pro in the previous season. Rise has actually picked up a couple of the players from that team, plus some exciting Vietnamese players. So I am really stoked to be seeing them playing here in the first week. You might notice some new names there. Players like Parkson and Asura, people that I've definitely not seen a lot of previously. Maybe some of you guys who have been out on the ladder have, but I'm really excited to see what they have to show us here tonight. So we'll be packing in 2 matches each Wednesday night for each week, rather than doing 2 nights like we did last time, because the games in the series can be a little bit shorter. So let's pack more action into the one evening and have a bit more fun. And our first match for tonight for SYF versus Downfall is going to be Crimson versus Pezz, starting on Black-Pink. So let me just check that these guys are ready to rock and roll and we can get it started. Alrighty. Got that countdown going. So this should be a pretty cool game. Pezz and Crimson, veterans of the scene, guys that we saw play a lot in last season as well and have some really great results. Pezz has been around for ages. I'm actually surprised how well he did in the last season as well, because you're always a little bit skeptical when someone who you haven't seen play competitively in a while pops back up. But I was absolutely impressed. The guy looks like he really hasn't lost any skill in Crimson, an absolute titan still as well. So let's get these introductions underway. And in the top right for our Protoss stack team, Downfall, he is Pezz. And just spawning over in the lower left, spawning in the red trunks for Team SYF, this is Crimson. Now guys, please bear with me. I am observing tonight as well, and this is not something I've done in a really long time, to be completely honest, so full disclosure, please bear with me as I warm up here again. I am definitely no Insano, that's for sure. So it will be Bronze League tier observing. Hopefully I can be up to Silver or Gold League by the end of tonight. Just take a bit of warming up. But let's see what we have in this first match here. I'm pretty stoked to kick off with such well-known players. Both these guys playing really, really well in the last season. Crimson having a very impressive record in his games. And I think CVP hasn't changed too much. I have been a little bit out of the loop from our Lucasine in StarCraft, but generally we tend to see them keep with the meta. But one thing that surprised me a lot in the last season was just the kind of cheesy games, the more interesting games that we got from a lot of these players. You know, throw the meta out had a lot of proxies, hidden bases, and part of that was the maps as well. A couple of very wonky maps in that pool that sort of force more interesting play styles from the players, and obviously with the preparation coming into it as well, you have people playing the player more than the actual matchup in a lot of circumstances, especially when you're trying to snipe like that really good player on that one team that everyone's worried about. So I don't really have many predictions for what these guys might throw out here, but please feel free in the chat to let us know who you think is going to take this one out. Overload for Crimson, spawning in and just having a bit of a look-see around the Protoss base. Not too much to see just yet, but good to get confirmation that, okay, there's a base here. He's actually going to send out his first Adept over to Crimson Town, and Crimson's just starting to spread that creep as he has taken this third base over here, and he does need to get that creep spread a little bit further out so that he'll be able to defend it a little bit more easily. Now that Adept is just going to go up and check, okay, is there a hatchery here? Cool. And then he might poke back down here into the natural location. For the moment, with the Queen and 4 Lings, he's not going to be able to get too much done, so at best maybe poke the shade in and just have a quick glimpse at what's going on in here. Won't be too long before speed finishes, and of course Pezz will be aware of that, so he's already pulling that Adept back home for the moment. Now over in Pezz's base, he has actually opted to go for the Stargate here, and the first thing that's popped out of that is a Phoenix. So he's going to be able to kill off this Overlord, and of course Crimson does see that there's a Robo following this up. Oh, excuse me, he's also got the Twilight Council. Robo is over here in the natural. So, yeah, pretty common follow-up. He'll be able to get a bit of vision out on the map with that. Throw in some more mortals. We can get that Twilight Council upgrading. Okay, he's actually going to go for the charge here. And this kind of reminds me a lot of back in the day. You would see people like Young Shik, who I absolutely hate as a player, by the way, do that sort of Phoenix charge lot thing over and over and over. And when a Zerg is quite heavy in the light units, quite heavy on Lings, oh my god, you just shred them to pieces, and it's really, really gross. We've got actually 6 gateways coming down here as well. So with that Overlord killed, the next nearest thing that could scout is like maybe this Overlord over here or this one down here. So he'd have to get some speed or run something in there to actually get confirmation of what's going on. Now if he had an Overlord here, he'd also see, okay, well, you haven't taken that natural gas yet, buddy. And that's something that you want to keep an eye on as a Zerg player, because those gateways starting to finish up. He is starting to get up there in the numbers, and that production's going to explode. And there's that Warp Prism popping out here. Ready to rock and roll. A couple of Lings might catch that. Yeah, they do catch a glimpse of that. They're also being chased out here by the Adepts. And Crimson does circle back to say, okay, are you going to attack me or you're expanding? And he will see the third Nexus coming down here, but the pressure that's going to come out is going to be pretty sticky. Now, we do have 8-9 roaches now on the way, and those are really going to help against the Zealots, but the beauty of the charge, I guess, is that they can close that distance on those roaches very quickly, and they're not quite as easy to kite on creep. And once they get up in the face of those roaches, they actually do a fair amount of damage, and they can be very difficult to kill. So in he comes for the first engagement. The roaches splitting off a couple of Zealots on the side. They're taking those out, and these Zealots continuing to march into this natural location. The Queen goes down, so that's a little bit less production for Crimson. And at the same time, these roaches are kind of stuck fighting at the ramp. The Queens do attempt to start targeting down that Warp Prism, but now the Zealots are focusing those down. The production for Crimson is gonna go out the window here. Now these roaches still doing some great work, but as more and more Warpins come in, he's gonna find it increasingly difficult to get rid of these. That said though, the number of Zealots is starting to dwindle, and he really needs to keep that momentum rolling. By the way, he did cancel that third base as this goes on, faking him out a little bit, going, actually, I'm expanding, you don't need to worry. But you know what? Crimson's too smart. It's too much. And there's a GG from Pezz. Crimson with a nice, comfortable hold there against Pezz's charge lot attack. Looking really good, and gets that first point on the board for SYF. Not bad, folks. Good start for SYF. Of course, these guys are defending champions, and they're going to be looking to secure a second title here in Season 2. And what better way to start off that mission than to secure yourself the first map in the first match that you end up playing. So pretty awesome there for Crimson. The next match is going to be Hut vs Fudge on abiogenesis. Abiogenesis or abiogenesis. I don't actually know which one people are saying. I just kind of like have always said it in my head. Please let me know what you prefer so I don't sound like an idiot. But short and sweet first game there, 7 minutes 26 on the clock, not the longest of matches. Pretty straightforward as well. Just a nice hold from Crimson. So guys, we'll take a quick break while we get that second lobby set up so you don't have to sit here listening to me rambling while I do that. And we'll be hopping into a second match very shortly. Please tell your friends, get on Twitter and let them know that this is happening, that it's the second season of the ANZ Pro League, and that we're pretty pumped to be showing more of our region's StarCraft here. So guys, don't go away. We'll be back soon with a bit more StarCraft.